Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Michelle Azugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time. And rebroadcast on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Hello. I hope everyone can hear me. Oh, wait. I got this. So, it would help if we had a microphone on. There we go. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Sofa Sundays. I am solo for the moment. Rev Jeannie is out on her birthday weekend, exploring this amazing spot out there. If you're watching her feed on Facebook, that's where she's posting that. Instagram too, I'm not sure. But anyway, so she's out there doing her thing, and it's so cool. So I'm glad she's having a birthday adventure. She certainly deserves that, doesn't she? But then I did have a guest lined up around that posted that, and of course we love her here. Unfortunately, one of her daughters became ill, and this morning she wound up having to take her to urgent care. So unfortunately, she's been trying, but she just texted me that she's just not with them. So it's just me. It's going to be me today, running solo. The audience are going to have to help me. No pressure or anything. I know Lyric doesn't want to pull up here. She's like, oh, no, thank you. But anyway, at least I have my coffee. That helps, right? All right. So we are looking at Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's wonderful office here. She does her practice. It's called Unleash Your Life, and it's located at 20 North 16th Street. It's built one, and you can always see our sign on the door. So it's easy to recognize. But luckily, she donates this space to our ministry every Sunday, and we're so grateful for it. She also has so many amazing classes, and her practices are here. So if you want to find out more about that, it's at unleashyourlife.us, and I highly recommend taking some of her classes or finding out more about her. She definitely, I would say, Judy and I both would say she's spiritual training as a dear gift. So I couldn't say enough about her, and she actually gets embarrassed when we do these little plugs, but I feel like I need to because I'm so grateful that she wants to use this amazing space. Also, the space is for rent. So you can host something in this space. It's also on the unleashyourlife.us site. It's so reasonable, it's ridiculous. So I'm checking that out. And today we are going to be doing our last Sunday talking about peace. Last month we did all about manifesting, and while I'm talking about my ministerial credentials and my doctorate, one of the books that we read was that I had to read was the Isaiah about and how you need to be in peace in order to manifest. We just go. This been working this month, manifesting. Maybe we should talk about peace. That's where we need to be in order to manifest. A little bit backwards, but I think it all really all works out like it's supposed to, right? So we've had a really great month of talking about peace in so many different ways. And today the topic is peace. I am one I love. So we'll dive into that first. As we come into this space, into this moment, we feel that peace. We feel that presence, that energy, that love between us. That is God. That is spirit. That is the divine. Each one of us are that divine energy expressing uniquely in our own perfect. We are each that love, each that connection, that energy. And from that place of mind, knowing from truth, word for this morning, for this time together, for all of us. I know that as we allow ourselves to be present, as we allow ourselves to let go of this morning, anything, as we allow ourselves to let what's coming next and from this talk, from the sharing, from the ideas, what is ours to take, and we bring it into our lives so that we can then share it with others. And I want to take to send blessings of love and health and um, just calm, comfort to our dear friend Tara and her daughter this morning as she is dealing with some health, the appearance of health issues. We know the truth for her. We know that she is the divine manifesting, and we know that she is perfect, complete. She is radiant light. And I also want to bless all leaders of all faiths everywhere, knowing that they are loved. They are also the divine expression. And I'm so grateful for this truth, whose we are together. So I let it go, know and trust that it is divinely guided and perfectly true. Together we say, so it is. All right. Well, as Jean usually does, I'm going to read the reading. It is from our what has become, unbeknownst to us, we didn't start thinking this way, but we wound up reading from this book. So many spiritual thought leaders, Reverend Michelle, Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington. She had many readings in here. Uh, Other ones that we know, Reverend Dr. Jerry, there are so many have different readings in here. And so Jeannie brought this to us when we first started our the Sundays, and she would pull readings out of here because she always seemed to find one that fit with our topic. And then we started realizing there's started going by these chapters because they didn't have want to talk about it. And now it's just kind of like hard. So today's reading, New Thoughts for Today. This is an Anton book, the affiliated Thought Network, which we are a member of. This reading comes from page 139, and it is called Sweet. And this this quote is from Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 from King James Bible. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest. This is Reverend Dr. Michael Harper goes on to say, work, patience, phone calls, emails, and texts, bills, children, families, it never ends. Often the cacophony, that's a word I have never ever seen in my life. I'm like, oh, I like the cacophony of life can be overwhelming. So for those of you who don't know what that means, it means chaos of life. Who among us hasn't been there at one time or another? I know I can tell I'm getting in the muddle space when I notice that my heart has begun racing or beating irregularly. It just won't go away. Even my skin starts to look unhealthy. Personally, my stress goes straight to my digestive system, wreaking havoc. Like one of my favorite singers, who sings, it's at times like these that you just need to stop and find your own rhythm. Everyone has his or her own rhythm. There are ways of finding it. Go be alone in the woods. Sit under a tree. Close your eyes. Maybe you're in the midst of a big city and you can't get out in nature. That's okay too, because we know the truth of who we are. Close your eyes right where you are and remember your divinity. Remember the God within, the force that animates and loves and cleanses. Even in the silence, remember, hold your own divine hand. God is here to give you peace. I am one with the divine love, and knowing this brings me the sweetest peace imaginable. Reverend Dr. Michael Harper, Interfaith, Oklawaha, Florida. I say these words. Um, yes, so thank you for that. I thought that was sweet. I think all of us can relate to the necessarily for chaos, but the way life can go, right? All the different hats we wear, the on and on, can just spin and spin out of control sometimes. Where I guess we feel chaos, we feel over or frustrating or stressful. I think is the main word you hear people say today. They're stressed out, they're anxious, exhausted, burnt out, all those different terms. And I think a lot of that can come from so many things that we do without ever taking a moment to invest in the peace of it, right? Often all the doing causes us to be present moment in our present state, the truth of what we are, right? Causes us to be in our future thinking. That's if you're stressed out, that's what you're doing. It proves it right. You already know what you're saying. I have a client come to me in my coaching consulting work that I do, as soon as they start to talk to me about any emotion like that, right? As soon as it's like, oh, I'm just so stressed out and it's overwhelming and all on is future thinking. Working themselves in over that hasn't even happened yet. I can't, I can almost guarantee it probably won't even happen at all. So they're running from here, and then, like I always say, those of you that hear me every Sunday, usually at one time or another say, making moves from there, wrong moves also. So that's it's kind of you're freaking yourself out on a future that doesn't exist, and then you're making moves from there, which is going to cause more of what? More stress, more angst, more, and I call that a real hamster wheel. People say, oh, the hamster wheel, like that's the real hamster wheel, the spinning and spinning and spinning outside of the present moment where we actually are supposed to be, where we're actually living, it's actually all happening. I kind of feel like you look at all these things, when he says, take a moment, close your eyes, right where you are, and remember your thinking. You just, when you talk about like, you just you have several things to do on your to-do list, right? We all have to do this, right? But we don't, I don't, does it say to do list? Something that you're supposed to be doing. I mean, maybe you write down a to-do list, but you know what you have to do. You have stuff you, but oftentimes they're not the things you really are excited to do or you would love to do. A bunch of stuff this homework called pick this up, go drop that off. I mean, there's on and on and on. Where's the things that you want to be doing? What are the things that give you energy and lift your energy back to home from the day? Those are usually the things that you would do in the present, which is interesting to me, right? Those are the things when you take that walking picture, when you do sit down, close your eyes for a minute, and connect that to who you are. Those are energizing things. Those give you energy, and those are. I'm trying to think is that I could say would be the present. So all your power, all your ideas, all everything you need is already right here. We just forget. We wander into the future and we freak ourselves out there. We feel really guilty or bad about something that happened. You don't know how to deal with it, how to solve it or fix it or whatever. So instead of coming back to the place, you're like, well, what should I do from here? You sit back there. Nuts over. You know, failure. I did this horrible. I'm the worst person in the world. All this garbage. That doesn't feel good either. You make decisions from back there. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. Those are the wrong choices again, and then it just keeps spinning. And oftentimes, I think it's really fun how we spin from the past. We spin into the past, and then we're just making ourselves. Right? And you know what we do? I talk to my husband about this a lot. Matt, I'm taking all these doctorate studies, right? The last one I took was on quantum physics. Some physics. It's so cool. Just proves our thinking, right? But what it says is, now I'm not gonna use all the exact terminology, but what it says is a thing, the electrons or whatever they spin up or down, but until they're observed, they don't choose one or the other. It's not choosing. The observer is choosing. So the same way in life, the way we're running our life, right? If I think people are bad, like people are awful, they're the worst. What am I gonna pick up on? I'm, I love you're gonna only notice that because you have decided you're going to, and you like to be right. We like to be right, don't we? Our ego is just kind of a little part of ourselves. So it wants to prove itself right. So I walk around saying people are the worst. You're right. Let me point them all out. Let me point out every single that they are the worst. In fact, this happened over here, and they're all the worst, right? And then you just faster and faster. And it just keeps happening. Or we could say, people, let's give everybody some grace. You're having this human experience, right? So maybe that person is having a bad day, not their best, and so they just kind of come off a little bit aggressive or whatever the person. It doesn't mean every person in the world is awful. Exactly, having a bad moment. Maybe I could speak some kindness to them and so be like, "Oh, you're a jerk," and then well, that's gonna be better. That's my now that that's what we want to be seeing in the world. We want to experience a world of harmony, love, and peace and joy. That's what I want. So if I'm thinking that, those don't go together. I'm not going to experience that. I'm going to experience what I think it is because I'm going to make sure. If I say, people are really, I created a Facebook page years ago. If you ever want to look it up, I don't do a lot with it really, but it's called Humans Can Be Awesome. And I did it because I think I'm getting a lot of different posts where people were just posting how bad somebody was. And then if you looked at the comments, they'd say, I hate people, and I hate that I have to be a person. And I wish I didn't even know affiliation with people because they're awful. I was like, wow, that's like, wow, that's the whole thing, right? Or humans are the worst people on this planet. They ruin everything. I was like, wow. And I know that's not true. I know a lot of humans are amazing. There are a lot of humans out there, and sometimes they have an opportunity to be awesome because somebody wasn't awesome. Sometimes the very fact that you have a hero is because somebody wasn't awesome that day. So that person got a chance to be awesome. So I thought, you know what? I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at how bad it is. I want to look at how humans can be awful and it can be awesome. And I chose to look at that. So every time I see something come across my feed with humans being awesome, I put it on humans can be awesome feed. And I put it there. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of that. But it's my decision. It's where am I coming from? So if I'm coming from my past or my future, most of the time I'm not going to be creating, not going to be seeing the good stuff. I'm in the present moment and I'm creating from here. Most likely that's what I'm going to be creating. I'm going to be creating a life I love. I'm going to be bringing in the joy. I'm going to be sitting in peace. Because when you're in the present moment, you feel calm, peaceful, confident. You have all those are the feelings of the present moment, which are kind of a cool tool, I guess, that we have that our emotions can let us know, hey, we're not present right now. Bring it back. Those emotions give us they give me every time. Which I appreciate that. Doesn't mean I don't run off with it for a little while before I recognize it. Doesn't mean I'm not where I could get totally triggered, angry, and go down that rabbit hole. And it takes me a while to go, whoa, oh my gosh, what am I doing? It's certainly not what I want to be creating, especially if it's with another human being, especially somebody I love. I certainly don't want to be creating that with somebody that I love. So it's calling it back to the present. Okay, what actually happened? Not the story I'm telling myself over my past, my anger. What actually happened? Oh, that's what happened? Okay, then what's my next move? So I can get back on track. So I can get back on coming from peace, coming from love, joy. Those are all the same thing. All coming from the same place, those emotions. So resonating with anybody? Anybody have anything coming to them around that? Let me do that quick.
Blair, would you give Abby your
A couple of things. One thing is that I think the media and social media in particular perpetuates sometimes negativity. Some of the most negative people I've ever seen are on media, are on social media, but also it'd be helpful if the news, the actual news on TV or in the paper would do positive things that someone killed and this happened. And wow, we rescued 30 dogs from a tornado, or children were anything that was positive.
Right.
I tend to stay away from social media because of the negativity. And I know you have negativity on there that sometimes it's in your face. And the other thing is, I think that everybody, when to say F off if somebody cut me off on the road. And I think that, and then there have been times I said, wow, that person. So I think that somebody else cuts you some grace. So
Yes.
maybe the whole world could. The positivity of not letting me personally, you didn't cut me or just didn't see me. I mean, it's possible. And I've done that too. Where did that car come from?
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
And so I look at that and say, okay. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was looking off at sometimes something really good, all these, oh my God, this, and this, and it takes away the joy of waiting for that thing to happen. So
yeah.
I try not to think about the walls, because one of my mantras has always been everything always usually works out, always and usually don't go together. Things usually work out for my better good.
Yes. Right, and that's your perception also. You're creating that to happen. I believe that too. Everything is my own. That we talk about the labeling of things that happen in the world, labeled that's good or bad. Really, it's just a thing that happened. We label it good or bad, and oftentimes what we might label good, someone else that just depends on what side of the coin you're coming from. It's all the same coin. It's all the experience, right? So we're the ones deciding if that's a good or a bad experience, and then we would experience that. If we just were to say, okay, that happened. Now, I'm not saying ignore your feelings. I'm not like you don't have a feeling about it, but it's just what happened. You don't know. Like I really believe God has my back, and these things are happening because I've asked for this to happen. I have said I'm manifesting this, or this is my desire, or this is my goal. This is what I want to see. I believe that what's happening back here, these steps are like part of the. I come back here and I go, well, this isn't going to get me up to there, and this is awful, and I hate all this, and I quit, and whatever. Like those are things that can derail you from getting up to here. It said, well, okay, that's not how I want to go, but I'm still fresh up with my next week. Or I see how this is supposed to help me right now, or what have you, but I'm trusting that God knows where I want to go, and if this is the path to it, give me the tools I need to be who I want to be when I'm there, fine. I'm moving through it. What's my next move? What's my next move? What's my next move? From the present, not from how I've declared that experience was. If I declare it was bad and awful, make moves from there, it's not going to be it. Say, okay, that's what happened. Okay, what do I do now? I still have the same goal. It's my next move. You'll know the answer. You know the answers. That's the coolest part when you start trusting that guidance or divine. You just got to keep moving. The thing I think is, I think we forget sometimes is that there's billions of other people here, billions of other people with billions of other goals. And they have all their stuff too, and somehow this is all supposed to intertwine. You know, so maybe something that happened, or happened because someone else's path runs across our path. I don't know. I'm not even saying it all works out, but sometimes it's like give yourself some grace, process some things, trust me, it's all working out for your good. Nothing's trying. There's no devil running around trying to derail you. There's no energy to try to do that. It's purely from what you choose to focus on, what you choose to believe. That is what your business is about. So cool. Change it. You can change it right now. You still have consequences for the decisions and the moves you make. So if you rack up all your credit cards, you go out one night, and you just say you're in a bad mood, and you say, "Forget it all. I'm going to go have a good time." You rack up all your cards, spend it all out, whatever, and then tomorrow, the next day, you get your credit card. I'm sorry. That's yes. Let's go together. It's not what has happened, but you can still say like, okay, what? Yeah, that's what happened. What's my move from here? Well, to put those credit cards. Maybe not. I need to move and try, pay the some things, better decisions, not myself to get so worked up. Call a friend next time. I don't know. You see my point. Realizing that if you've made some moves and you've made you would say a mess of things, it's still going to work out for your good. You're going to learn so much from there if you come back to present and well, that's not the way I wanted it to go. It's not the moves I wanted to make. I'm going to move differently. Pieces, I'm going to move that way because I'm going to align with who I am. And when you move from there, all that other stuff, everything's very peaceful. So when you something else there, but I think if you're not spending a little bit of time every day in the presence of the divine, try it. Just try it. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a guru. You can literally do 5 minutes and it will be different. 5 quick minutes in your day will be different. But just try it. See. Do it a couple days in a row, then don't do it one day and see the difference in the way that you move. The way that you move. It's so. I usually have a pretty good practice, and maybe one day I'm running around and I 3 o'clock or whatever. I recognize I'm feeling really tensed up. Oh my God. I can see it right away. Like, oh my gosh, it's so funny. My alignment's off. Take that time. It will raise your vibration. It'll give you good energy. So good. I also wrote down some things on here I want to say. So even though I said, to sit and reconnect with the divine, you may have your own way of doing so. And if you don't know what that is yet, take some time and try to figure that out. Different things like go walk. I know it's really hot right now, so you can't do it down here. But maybe you live somewhere where it's that. Do you like to take time to visualize? Do you have a visualization practice? I love to do that. That's one of the things I love to do. When I go to bed at night, or sometimes if I'm waking up in the morning and I've woken up ahead of the alarm, I do just close my eyes and do something. I just let myself, feel like happiness. So it doesn't always have to be like, oh, let me sit down, put myself in my meditative position and be all perfect. Sometimes you just be driving and putting on a song that lifts you up. Music is, the whole universe is based on music. That could be a way to something that uplifts you and makes you feel like good. Calling a friend is a great thing. A friend that isn't negative. We don't want to call a friend that speaks life to you. You know, if you are having that moment, you want to know who those people are because you want someone that's not going to run down that rabbit hole with you. You want someone that's, I believe you. I know that you can turn this around. I know you can do it. It's okay that you have a bad moment. Sometimes it's okay. As soon as you hear it, it's kind of like, oh, well, thank you. And you just feel better already. So, some of the tools I would say would be mindful breathing. That's a very simple meditative practice. It's a breathing. So if you catch yourself feeling tense or in have you guys ever been working in stress? Yeah.
Breathe into this moment. Breathe in, breathe out.
What's funny is sometimes you'll be somewhere where it's peaceful or you think it's peaceful.
Yeah.
Watching a show or just hanging out, and all of a sudden you're like, what is your problem? What is, because it was all the stress from, like, whatever, it's still new. Breathing, when you recognize your breath, to the present moment immediately. Well, if you're in a moment where you're feeling upset, somebody's just triggering you, they're just, setting you off, just, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm just like, I'll be with you in a minute. But if you could just, you have to know you're doing it. Okay. You're back. You're back. Visualizing. Yeah, the affirmations, when we have these affirmations cards, when you find one that resonates with you, keep it. I made them in this size because my thought was that you could put them in stick them somewhere that you would see it all the time. This one speaks to me. I want to stick it in the mirror. I stick it right there every morning. I can see it. That's why they were made this way. They weren't really made to be like a deck of cards, although that's what they wound up being last year, was making a deck of cards. But the intention was that they were something you could just stick with wherever. So you have some of those and they speak to you, and you're like, yeah, this is what I need to know this every day. Pull out your affirmation cards. Take a moment to read through them. It's going to lift you right back up. It's going to lift you right back into the present moment. You're going to feel better, connected. So these are really great practices. You can't sit in fear if you're in gratitude. So gratitude practice is extremely powerful. Some people have one where they write it out, and they write out all their gratitudes at night or whatever. I say, man, you got 5 years. You're having a bad moment. What's your five things you're doing really fast? Sometimes you're the next week you're like, man, I'm grateful my one cup of this. It just, you're good. It's going to pull you back to the present moment. If you're in gratitude, you are present. So it's very helpful to have some of these tools ready to go because you're right. The world is teaching us completely the opposite. I don't know. I could be a conspiracy person. What happens if we in the present moment? What happens if we live our lives in negativity? Are we powerful?
Yes, we are.
And
We live or other.
we don't live in our present. We are in our present moment.
We're powerful, so the rest of the world is not. is negative too. They might, the way I look at it. So would you.
I feel like that's my job because I have the awareness. There's so many people who have no awareness. They just live like whatever, they just toss around whatever life throws at them. No understanding it. She's got her hand up.
With a woman who is good in her life or in her area. So I've learned to tune her out because she can bring the entire department down. And others of us, I notice I'm not the only one who tunes her out now. And so hopefully we can have her instead of us.
You have to set your boundaries sometimes. If you recognize somebody treating you like that. Yeah. Because sometimes that energy is really strong. Especially if there's negativity comes from a place that you're triggered. You're triggered. Boy, they can just grind right into it before you even know it. So before, so like if I knew somebody like that was around me, and oftentimes they were affecting me, and I didn't like being affected. I would say when I'm with someone, I'm a calm, loving person. I would create a set point in myself for whenever I'm with that person. And with that person, I would say, we're a calm, loving person. So what would be my next? What would I do today? What would I do? How would I show up? Whatever. Every part of myself would tell me what to do. Do it. Yeah. So he's getting fed by this. I think it's, when we come into like I was telling you, I told you guys, I told you, that's your superpower. Your superpower is your thoughts, your prayers, what you think, what you're going to put out into the world. That's your superpower. Because you can change everything. And the more of us that recognize that, the stronger we will become over the people who doesn't even know, and they're just living based on whatever the news is telling them that day. So it's kind of like a calling to recognize the truth of ourselves and how things work, how powerful our thoughts are, the things that we're putting out, and that we do have the ability to create a life with love. I mean, isn't that our job? And what's so cool is I don't have to go out to work in here and do it. It's all the work is mine. I don't have to do anything, force my kids, not to. That's why we called it that. That's all we have to do. If I can just help you go in and work within, you'll create a life you love. I don't have to make your life yourself. And you go within it. And by doing that, I get better at it too. I'm called to help you because I need it too. Because I'm also in this world having this human experience and the news, or whatever, getting cut off on the road or whatever. I need that too. And I want to remember my truth, and I want to come from within and come from the present moment. So I'm constantly working on that. So the more I'm helping others, the more stronger I get every time. Also, you will do the same thing. When you show up at work and you're with that person, you begin within and you say, okay, I'm a calm, loving person. I'm near this person. And I would do this, and you do it. You are creating that change. You are that's why you take two people in a relationship, and it's a miserable relationship. Both of them are miserable. They may not even. It's so bad. You give me one of those people, just one. I don't need to talk to. I'll have to you have couple. I just want people who's change one. That whole relationship has to change. It cannot be the same. I work with people with women. I'm thinking of a particular situation where she was worried that if she actually, I'm trying to think of what words I want to use, actually found her truth, that he would leave. She was starting to hurt, and she felt like, but if I say that, then what if he just leaves? What if he does? the only shot that he has of figuring that what he's doing out is by you being authentic and being nice. Not worry about what he's gonna do. You just be who you are, be present. Show up there every time. He's gonna have to change. He's either gonna leave, you're right, you could go, and then wouldn't that be a blessing if that's what's gonna happen? Or he could go, I don't wanna go. Hey, what do I have to step it up? You know, I have to not lie, I have to whatever all the things were. I'm happy to say that he did. I was really happy about that. And I know both people, and I was hoping thought he could, but I knew he wouldn't. It's push her, that's what her authentic. You in life, your relationships, and everything. All you gotta do is just keep your truth. Come from within, authentic. Be exactly what it is. Your people will be repelled by that. Those aren't your people, and that's okay. But the ones that are, the ones that are supposed to learn from you, that are supposed to be, are supposed to grow and get and move into things in a better way because of your presence, because you held that. Those are your people. You affect the world we live in by just holding that for ourselves. And I think that's the sweetest piece. It's just when I can be with people and I just get to be me, and I'm not trying to make you be my friend, make you nothing. I'm just me and you. That feels really good. I'm just being my divine love. I'm being my divinity in this expression called Michelle. We're aligned with me, and now we're doing life in this way. Like, oh my gosh, that's what I want. I mean, so we said silence. Yeah, so I would say the biggest things around creating this this sweet piece around you are the divine. First of all, I was in the beginning. There was only one. Was huh? In the beginning, what was there? There's only one thing in the beginning. Do you forget what the one thing was? In the beginning, before anything was created, there was God. She's not with me. There was God. So there was only God. There was only one thing present, right? That's the only thing that everything else could be created from. So that's it. If God, so if I compared God, which I'm not necessarily, but for example, God were the ocean, right? A drop of that water, I take a drop out of the ocean, you put it over here, and I examine this drop, I examine the ocean. They're going to have the exact same attributes, aren't they? Now, this little drop isn't the whole ocean, right? It's not the whole little drop, the whole thing, right? But it has the exact same elements, the qualities, everything's the same. Same for us. We are, oh God, peace running around these little bodies have all the same powers. That's why we're able to create. We have the same creative ability that God has as the whole. Created for our world. God, the whole we're little, and then everything is interconnected. So if I create peace over here, I'm also the entire because it's like a ripple quantum physics. But we've said this in Food Thought for a long time. We have already recognized in Food Thought for a long time that I can be here and I can pray for somebody over there and it will be affected by my prayer. We've proven that through quantum physics, the ripple of the through the dimension of the universe. That's it. So what vibrations do we want to be putting out? I want to be putting out peace. I want to be putting out love, joy. I want to be putting that out there. And that begins with me. So definitely the work is with us. The work is with them. Oh, it's like keep keeps coming around back to the same thing. It's always within ourselves. And the peace, the sweet peace, recognizing the truth of who and who's, when we really know that, we really, and the more that we sit in that, the more we're going to know and feel it. When we practice and we do things and we go, oh, see, it does work. It does work like that. That's the truth. It's the truth of who I am. We experience it more and more and more. And we start to here. This that's happening out here is coming from in me. For my experience is coming from experiencing out here. And the same for everyone, all of you. So that's kind of my take on this sweet peace, this chaos of life, and how you can bring it back to the truth, bring it back to divine love. We'll say, yes, you're still going to have all the things, but let's not forget to stay connected. Let's not forget to remember who and whose we are. And I don't think those things get so out of control and spin us in circles. If we can stay in the present moment. I'm still going to have all these things. I'm still going to have all these things that I do, right? All these people in my life. I'm still going to have, what's the other thing? I'm still going to get all these phone calls, these emails, bills. I'm still going to have all of that. But where am I in all of that? Like I tell my husband sometimes, like, your happiness cannot come from somebody else or from something else. If it is coming from there, so say like you get a $100,000 check in the mail and suddenly you're happy, or if you get a bill for $100,000 and suddenly you're upset. Not that I'm saying you can't have emotions, but you can't be why you're happy or sad in your life. It's inside. Yes, we don't want to feel for $100,000. We don't want to do that. But at the same time, I would be like, okay, well, I guess we all, how are we going to pay for that? I'm not going to let it ruin my life. So much to be grateful for. I'm like, I'm generally the person I'm generally happy with myself and what I've created. So yes, I'm not going to love having a bill like that, but it's not going to throw me because I've built a lot in here. So I don't know if that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Any comments? Anybody have any? I just have to do it. Oh my God! Don't put me on the spot. I'm kidding. I tease you. All right. So if we're complete, do we feel complete on that topic? Okay. I'm gonna write. All right. Let's take a deep breath. Let's do one more. And as we exhale, we recognize there's one power. There's one presence. There's only one. We call it the divine spirit, whatever you call it. There's only one thing. And it is love. It is joy. It is peace, abundance. It is all there is. And I know that each one of us is that divine love, that divine joy, peace in our own unique expressions. We are each that droplet of the divine as it moves in, as and through each creating our lives. That place of my truth, that place of knowing who and whose I am. I speak my word for everyone present, everyone hearing my voice. As each one of us recognizes our truth, rests on the truth that we are one with divine love. We experience that sweet peace. We experience it. We create it. and we share it. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful that it starts with me, that my experience starts with me. And yet, my experience affects everyone. And so I let it go, and I know and I trust that it is already perfect. It is already done. I'm so grateful for that. And together we say, and so it is. Oh, thanks.
Support you.
Oh, how you support us. Thank you. Well, if you've enjoyed your time with us today, even though it's not here, but normally I have my cohort, Reverend Jean Robbins here. But if you'd like to support the ministry, if you would like more of this, simply because first of all, you can just do a donation if you want to. And you can do that on our website at www.beginwithinministries.com. There's a donation section below. You can also become a spiritual church partner. So if you want to partner with us in this community and see it grow and get the benefits of it, which are things like we all have our own little sofa plug, and I promise you, tea and water taste better out of these mugs. I don't know why. They're like or something. We all get our affirmation cards every week, so everybody has a 52 card deck at the end of the year. We have classes and workshops and things that our partners receive free. And so this is what we're building. We're building a community that we can all be part of, sharing together in that growth. So if you're involved in that, we'd love for you to be a spiritual church club partner. And that's a monthly donation for an individual of $45 a month or $75 for a couple or family. Let's see, what else? Oh, you know what really supports us too is subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking and sharing what we post, and getting the word by people, coming in person and seeing us in person. All of that helps. We love to know each other. We love to build community. We love to be in person. For those of you that can't be here, I know we've got people all across the country that watch us. I love you for participating, joining with us as best as you can, and be here. So, thank you, everyone. It was fun. I'm glad I got to do this, even though it's solo. It was a good time, and it was a good subject. So, I love you all, and we'll see you next week. Jeannie will be back with us next week.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.